I want to put everybody on standby. It looks like Memphis police are about to talk. As a matter of fact, we're running over to the public information. Let's go ahead and pop it up and hear what we can hear. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, everybody ready?
Hold on, two seconds.
Okay.
2 seconds. Let me know from the outside, okay?
All right, we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so at 2:15 p.m. today, we got multiple calls to this location, 577 North Germantown Parkway at the Walmart. Officers made the scene, determined that only one person was shot. We had one shooter on the scene. The victim was transported to Regional 1 in critical condition. It is an adult male. The shooter fled the scene. Originally, we believed that Shelby County had got behind the scene and had taken the suspect into custody. We have been able to determine that that person is not our suspect. We do have very good information on who our suspect is, and our investigators are working hard to locate that individual right now. I can tell you that the suspect was a black male who fled in a black Mazda SUV. All right.
Was he an employee?
So our preliminary information indicates that he is a former employee of the business, our suspect is.
How long have you been former? Do you know?
I don't have that information. You'll have to get that from Walmart.
What about the victim? Are they an employee too?
No, the victim is not. He was a customer. It stemmed from a physical altercation between a customer and this former employee.
How serious are the customer's injuries?
He's critical.
Did everything happen inside the Walmart or outside?
It did happen at the front of the business. So we did get, again, multiple calls. There were multiple shots fired, but it was a targeted incident. It was an altercation between two individuals that led to this shooting.
Did they know each other, or the fight just started inside the store?
So that's going to be information that we're going to look a little bit more into, but at this time, we don't know that they had any previous relationship or acknowledgement of each other.
How many times was he shot?
I don't have that information.
You said at the front door. Was it inside or outside the front door?
It was inside and outside the front door, so it was like right there in the front of the business.
You don't know what they were fighting about?
He's a black male, and he fled in a black Mazda SUV.
A witness told us that the former employee was arguing with his girlfriend. Do you know anything about that at all?
Yes, so I can confirm that he was arguing with a female prior to getting into the argument with the individual that he shot.
And you don't know what they were fighting about?
No, I don't. So I will say that I want to note that Walmart went through their procedures and locked down the store. They got everybody away from the incident that was happening and kept their employees safe, which is great. In an active shooter situation, there are 3 steps that we really preach, and that's avoid, deny, and defend. We want you to get out of there, deny access to yourself by locking doors or getting in a safe place, and then if the bad guy does get to you, then obviously you take the steps necessary to protect yourself. So they went through those procedures, but this was not an active shooter today. This was an isolated incident, 1 shooting, 1 suspect, 1 victim.
Did the girlfriend leave with the boyfriend?
That's going to be part of the investigation.
So you know who he is, you said?
We do have information on who the suspect is. We're just not able to release that information at this time, but our investigators are working hard to find them.
What's the rest of this investigation look like for y'all? I mean, how long y'all expect to be out here, that kind of thing?
We'll be here for several hours. So our investigators are on the scene now. There are several witnesses that we're going to be interviewing. We're going to have crime scene officers come to document the scene, and then of course Walmart's going to have to clean up. Whether they reopen today is going to be a decision made by Walmart.
Is the suspect considered armed and dangerous?
The suspect is armed, but as far as being a threat to the general public, I wouldn't go that far. It looks like this is a targeted incident. That's what our information indicates.
Any idea why he was a former employee?
That's going to be information you have to get from Walmart.
Was he employed at the time of the shooting?
So the time of his termination, of when he was terminated, you'll have to get from Walmart.
Is the scene on I-240 and Airways connected to this?
So that is where the traffic stop was made on the individual that we believe to be part of this incident, but he is not. So that is it's Shelby County scene, but again, that is not our suspect in this case.
You know how many people were inside, employees and customers,
I
about
don't
when it
have
happened?
that information. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I get any more while y'all are here, I'll let you know.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Councilwoman's here.
Do you want to make
I'll make it do it.
A quick statement. Of course, this is in District 2, and we're saddened that these events have taken place in our district. We are thankful for the quick actions of both the Sheriff's Department and the MPD. Homeland Security is on site for the mobile crisis unit for any victims that are still here and need assistance. But I do want to put out, because I know a lot of people left the scenes, both shoppers and other employees, they've already left the scene, that there are counseling services available to them at our Crime Victims and Rape Crisis Center. You can call that number at 901-222-3950. They also have a website and set up time to speak with a counselor if you feel that that's needed. So we want to make sure that all the people that need assistance, that are feeling traumatized and the effects of this, because it's not just about somebody who got shot. The other people who've been here are really shaken up. I've seen them come out today. We want to make sure that they get the help they need as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for holding that. I appreciate it.
All right, that was City Councilwoman Jerry Green, obviously offering up the counseling services and representing her district there. Right before that, we were hearing from Officer Teresa Carlson from the Memphis Police Department. She's one of the public information officers, and she summed it up succinctly. It was a fight between two individuals, happened just after 2:15. One man shot another. There were several shots fired. Man was hit, taken to Regional 1, last listed in critical condition. We don't know his condition right now or the extent of his injuries. And the most interesting thing we got out of that was confirmation was that suspect who was apprehended and temporarily detained, would be the official police term, at Airways and I-240 is not the suspect. They've subsequently, as we showed you a moment ago, they've cleared that scene. And Kaylee, you brought up the point, for that to be a crime scene at Airways and I-240, they cleared that scene very quickly. So they let that individual go. He was driving a black Mazda SUV. I was told it was a crossover. A Mazda SUV was stopped by Shelby County Sheriff's Office deputies, but after a brief period of time, they let that man go because he was not the shooter. They believe they have a handle on who he is, though.
Yeah, and I think another thing that she did mention is we were able to confirm that the suspect was a former employee of Walmart, but she said the person that was shot, that victim, was a customer, and that this may have stemmed from an altercation that had to do with an argument with one of these significant others. She wasn't able to specify any further, but she confirmed some of the information we've been hearing. It started as an altercation, it escalated into one man shooting another man, and she says only one person shot. So that's something that we were able to get out of that. But again, we don't know who the suspect is. She wasn't able to give much information on that, but that suspect is still out there. They're still actively looking for that person.
Primary takeaway, they do not consider him an imminent danger to the public. They believe this, as you pointed out, was an altercation between two people, and they don't think that he is out there on any sort of a rampage right now. So if you do see someone matching that description in a black Mazda SUV, might want to stay away, might want to call police. They would appreciate any tips you have right now at 528 cash. That's Crime Stoppers. Of course, we've got to continue to work this situation. We've got reporters on that scene. We've got reporters in contact with the MPD and the Memphis Fire Department and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. And we'll be bringing you that summary coming up at the beginning of Fox 13 News at 5, which starts in an hour and 20 minutes.